Hi everybody, welcome to Katrina's Garden. So I am out here today and I wanted to give y'all a little tour of what's been going on here in our crafty nook. We've got a lot going on right now. We did get the yard mulched, which I told you all about. So we have done some things since then. That behind me is my next door neighbor's yard. That is not mine. But I'm going to flip you around and just give you a little take and tour on everything that we have done so far. And as you know, as I've said before, we are homesteading in place. And once we get to the level where we can buy our land and all of that, we will have some things already in place that we want. We are not looking to become major farmers, but we are looking to become more self-sustainable. All right, so I'm going to flip you around. All right, so that is the front of the house there. You see my daughter coming down. And that's just a pile of stuff that we're getting rid of. All right, and I got the water hose coming down. So, coming down this way, as you can see, we had the yard mulched. So we do have a big, open, wide space. So it goes from all the way up there, and up there is where I'm usually filming from. That is my garden patio garden, I'm sorry. And I have tomatoes and okra and some other things up there, peppers. But this is the actual yard. And as you can see, we have a lot of space to grow things. So, I've started with these little planters down here. And my yard is a slope, y'all. It goes downhill. There are a few flat spots on it that had to pick out and find and all of that, but we're gonna get it done, y'all. So I have 3 of these planters. These are just basic raised bed planters. They're not anything to gawk about. They're not Vigos or anything like that. They're just planters. All right, and we're going to see how those do. All right, now, I got this, my green stalks, y'all, during their sales. So we're going to walk over here. I've only planted 1 so far. The other, I bought them when they were buy one, get one free. So I bought 2 of them and got 2 of them free, and I bought the 3-tier. And this is one that I have already planted today. All right, we have a variety of things in there. I have lettuce on the top, a couple of varieties of lettuce, as well as some basil. My center stalk has beans. And then the bottom stalk, we have a couple of other things growing there. All right, and then this is the rest of the system here, and these are the green stalks. So it came with 12 of those tiers, because they were buy one, get one free, and I bought the 3 tiers, so I got 4 sets, 12 of the tiers. It also came with the watering system, as well as the gray tops that go in there too for the watering system. All right, so this morning we came out and we have been cleaning up mulch. Cleaning up mulch. All right, we've been pretty much moving it to this pile right here. Now, I do have an exterminator coming out here because I have yellow jackets all over my backyard, y'all. So I want to get rid of the yellow jackets. All right, but let me just share with you what else we did. And I'm going to flip you around. All right. We have Xavier, Nyla, and Olivia. All right, and this is our new little flock here. So we have 2 hens and a rooster. And my hens are olive eggers. And my rooster is a barred Plymouth Rock rooster. And he is beautiful. I don't know if you can see the teal on his tail, but he's got teal feathers all throughout, and as well as the black and white. And he's very, very friendly. Those my two hens are friendly too, but they can be a little butt wipes sometimes. But we love them. See, my grandson in here is laying down some. We took some of that mulch from the yard and we're laying it in here, as well as some pine. They got scratch, food, water. They're good. As you can see, I have all the water up, and Nyla and Olivia can reach it. We have made sure of that. They were able to reach it. And we did the integration. So I'll tell you how I have this coop set up. The ground of the coop has the metal netting on the ground. All right, and it is tacked down into the ground, and we have a garden fabric over it. And on top of that, I have put some pine. We put a few layers of dirt and mulch. And that's because I don't want my chickens to get their claws caught into the wiring. All right, but we did that so nothing could dig its way up under it and get my chicks. So we first brought Xavier, our rooster, into the little coop that's inside. So I have a small coop inside of a big coop. All right, and that is, I like it like that. I'm going to leave it this way. But we first brought him into the small coop because we hadn't finished the big coop yet. And he did just fine. He was only in it for like 24 hours because we finished the big coop. Once we got the big coop finished, we let Xavier out, and we brought Nyla and Olivia out. Nyla and Olivia were in the house. Now, we've had them since they were baby chicks, and they're pretty big now. So we brought them down, and they went into the small coop. And of course, we brought them down in the evening, so they went into the small coop, and it was nighttime. I did shut them in. All right, and then the next morning I came out and let them out into the yard of the small coop. And Xavier has been crowing his little behind off, honey. Xavier was a gift from one of my daughter's friends because he had a lot of competition where he was living at. So he didn't really have a flock, so he wasn't crowing, and he wasn't doing much of anything. But now he is sounding off, and the lady that gave him to us was so excited that he was crowing because he has never crowed. So he's been doing really, really good since he's been over here. And then today is the first day that we integrated them out in the yard together. So he was out in the big yard. They were out in the little yard. They were eating together and everything, but they were separated through the coops. You know, but now they are roaming in and out of the little coop and the big coop. And go into the little house at night to sleep. Now, Olivia and Nyla are too little for eggs just yet. They're not quite egg ready yet, but they will be soon. And like I said, we have had them since they were baby chicks. So all of this work out here that we've been doing, we're doing for a reason and a purpose, y'all. My family is working on being more self-sustaining, and we will not be all the way off the grid, but we do want to be able to get off of this grid as much as possible, to be as self-sustaining as possible. I do have a surveillance system here, and I'll show you that. Let me see if I can zoom in on it. So we do have cameras around the yard because my yard is pretty big. All right, and we want to be able to see what's going on. That particular camera there has the solar panel. It also has an intercom and a siren. So if something should be in the back, Xavier's going to crow himself to death. So that kind of alerts us that there's something going on in the back. He is very protective of these hens already. So we know that he is going to alert us that there's something going on. And we can pull up the camera. And if there's something back here, we can hit the alarm on the camera and let that sound off. And usually scare away what's out here. They are very protected from predators that fly. And the yard has been treated with snake away and snake lime to keep the snakes out and other creepy crawly things that don't need to be in here. As well as critter ritter. That's what I call it. It's some other solution we have that is that won't hurt the chicks or our dogs, but it keeps the raccoons and rabbits and all of that out of the yard. So what I plan to do is, because I have seeded the green stalk and my little planters over here, I do have netting over here that I will cover it with once those seeds start to sprout. And we'll see how that works. We are working on fencing the yard in. However, I also wanted to get my fall garden up and going, because even though we have a later frost date than most people, I don't want to wait too long and not get my fall stuff planted. I do have some of my fall things planted up on the porch, and I have tomatoes that are still growing. So I don't want to bring those down here yet, because if I do bring those down here, we will have critters in the yard trying to get those tomatoes, because I've got one of my tomato plants has 7 tomatoes on it. So we're going to leave that up there on the porch for now. Birds have not tried to get it yet, but I do have netting to go over that to keep the birds and animals out of it. All right, so I did want to just pop on here and give you all this little update. Thank you all for subscribing to my channel, and I hope to see more of you real soon. Thank you all for tuning in to Katrina's Garden and following me on my journey. We are the Wicks family of 9+, and we're getting it done out here, y'all. So keep your heads up. Make sure you all join the party. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to do everything everyone else is doing, but I encourage you to do something, all right, to be more self-sustaining and more self-sufficient. So I'm going to get out of here, because I've got some food cooking in my crock pot up there, and I got to can some beans tonight. So you all be blessed and happy harvesting.